right. That must mean it's my turn. It's 7:19 now. Let's take a call. It's Dan in Sonoma. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Sean, good morning. I had mentioned yesterday that there were 23 Republicans that voted no to censure Rashid Tlaib, and one of those was our very own Tom McClintock. I called Tom McClintock's office yesterday, the Sacramento office, and I spoke to a very nice gentleman, a spokesman, and he was very nice, and I said, I'd like to give McClintock the benefit of the doubt. What was his rationale to not vote for censorship? And I'm assuming that the gentleman read a prepared, statement or response for this. And basically what he said was that McClintock stands on the principle of defending free speech. And I said, okay, fine. So I said, if the fraud squad or any members of them are spreading hate, which leads to violence, which possibly leads to death on the streets, which that's where we're going. And I think there can't be any argument along those lines. Would he still defend that? And the gentleman repeated that. He said, well, it's as ugly as it is, yes, you still have to allow that to happen. And I countered, I said, look, the last time I identified who I was, and I said, I've talked to Mr. McClintock a few times. In fact, the last time was in his office. It was my last act as a conservative Tea Party leader. I was the only one from the North Bay. All the leadership met into his office for a variety of reasons. And this was a few days after the IRS, which would destroy the Tea Party and conservative groups by censoring us, by threatening all of us. Our numbers were cut in half. We literally collapsed, that Tea Party and conservative movement. I said the Republicans who had a sizable majority in both the House and Senate did nothing, and I think McClintock was one of those people. And I said, do you have any response to that? And the gentleman didn't have any. He was a nice man, and again, if you call his office and complain, which I don't, you're free to do. Anyone who's listening, find out why he did this. Again, you'll get the same answer I did. But I said, look, you seem like a very nice man, but right now I think Tom McClintock's time is over. We need fighters. He didn't fight for us then. When we stuck our necks out, it cost us quite a bit. We never got paid for protesting and trying to stop Obamacare and all the rest of it. And what was our reward? To be harassed by the government. And again, we had no one in the Republican Party fighting for us, and now he won't even lift a finger to censure Tlaib, who should be gone.
Well, Dan, was free speech really the rationale?
Look,
is that what it was?
Because
all that means is you won't go to jail for criticizing the government. It doesn't mean that if you're slamming the Constitution or if you're anti-American that we can't. Well, we can't push back against that. We can push back against you're entitled to your opinion. You won't go to jail for it, but we still don't like you.
Well, you now can go to jail if you defy the mask mandates. That's what happened during that whole pandemic. You stood up for, I don't want to take the vaccine, I don't want to wear a mask. Suddenly police show up at your door with the weapons and so forth, and it could escalate from there. So, yeah, free speech has been destroyed. Look, the bottom line is I don't want to read too much into McClintock's motivations. I'm not in his head.
It wasn't just McClintock. Doug LaMalfa also voted against.
Yes.
And Chip Roy.
Yes, Darrell Issa from California and Duarte, I believe.
Chip Roy really shocked me.
I don't understand why.
What the heck is going on, Dan?
Bottom line with McClintock, again, he's a very nice man, but he needs to step away. What we need are not nice men. We need our fighters. I think everyone knows that. That's why there's such a big Trump movement, even though I've expressed my doubts about the whole thing. But I will never doubt that he's a fighter. And that's sorely what's needed. McClintock doesn't have it in him anymore. He's done his time. I think it's time for someone to step up and take that mantle. Let's move to the debate. It's coming up this Wednesday. I was shocked to see that only 4 people are going to be on the stage this Wednesday. It's DeSantis, Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, and Chris Christie. I don't know why he's still going to be there. But that's all that's left. Tim Scott is gone.
Tim Scott, yeah.
Tim Scott is gone.
We don't have Tim Scott, and of course Larry Elder is long gone. I don't know if I don't think he's officially dropped out, but he has been ignored by the Republicans.
Absolutely. In fact, I don't think he has officially dropped out. You and I would have heard that, but according to the New York Times, which is where I'm getting this source from, they say he has dropped out. But what a disgrace that the media and especially the Republican Party just slap that man down because, excuse me, I don't know why you want to have your best and brightest. And I'm sorry, Chris Christie is not your best and brightest with his Donald Duck comments and his stupid way of thinking about things.
Might as well vote for a Democrat.
It's on NBC. Now, this presents an opportunity, though, because the media is 100% guilty for allowing Biden to get away with as much as he's done. If there's an opportunity here for someone like Haley or Ron DeSantis to rip into the media because they've been lying through their teeth and they still are. So that's what I'm hoping for on Wednesday. We'll see how this all turns out.
We will. We will see it. Will we like it? Probably not.
No, but I'll be front and center with several glasses of wine in front of me.
You'll probably need that, Dan. You have a fine weekend.
Thanks, bud. Talk to you Monday.
7:25.